Colonial Sports Center.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Colonial Sports Center. My name is Kevin Plaucher. Joining me is Cameron Nicariola. Cam, a couple teams returned home this past weekend for some games, but we got to get right into things. It was a busy day today.
Yes, sir. It was. We have playoff season is here, and it's a joyous of times, and I'm ready to break it down for you tonight.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to start off with the women's soccer team. Earlier today, they were in action in Wisconsin to take on the #1 Milwaukee Panthers in the Horizon League Conference Tournament semifinal. Unfortunately, their awesome season would come to an end with a 5-0 loss to the Panthers. Colonials were outshot 20-6, including 12-3 in shots on goal. Milwaukee is now 7-0 in all time against RMU. Still a fantastic season for this Colonials team, who finished 12-5-3 overall.
Yeah, they'll play Northern Kentucky coming up after an intense game where they won in PKs. The other side was a great Horizon League tournament so far. Very entertaining games. Unfortunate way for them. But men's soccer is in action as they took on Cleveland State on Wednesday, what was believed to be a win-and-in situation. We'll see how this one panned out first. Let's see how the Colonials fared against the Vikings, and it was a 1-0 victory for the Colonials. Uday scored the lone goal for the Colonials, and it was an intense game. Watching those final seconds tick off the clock, you could see the excitement for the Colonials, and then they had to go in and watch the TV and see the results of some of the other games. And we'll take a look at what happened in the bracket positioning in the Horizon League. Let's see what happened as the Colonials unfortunately did not make the Horizon League postseason. Kevin, why is that?
Yeah, well, Cam, as you mentioned, I think everyone was under the impression that RMU won. So if Green Bay beat Milwaukee, which they did, if they won or tied, RMU would make it in. But this tiebreaker was decided because Wright State beat Green Bay and Robert Morris tied against Green Bay during the regular season. To have a tiebreaker be decided by something like that rather than goals is something that doesn't really make much sense to me, but it almost seems like Robert Morris got a little maybe screwed out of the Horizon League tournament. I'm not sure, but what are your thoughts, Cam?
Yeah, really weird situation. That's what I was told leading up to that entire game. Win and you're in, win and you're in. Mm-hmm. And the Colonials came out and did that.
They did just that.
But
they
it
did what they were
comes down
supposed
to games not against Wright State to decide who goes in, and not goal differential for the whole season, which is really weird considering it. Wright State, as you said, beat Green Bay to get into the September 30th.
Yeah, it was all the way back in September.
Weird,
so
weird
going
circumstances.
Back, yeah, very weird scenario here, and I'm not really sure what the decision, why the decision was made by the Horizon League. But unfortunately for Robert Morris men's soccer, it causes them to miss out on the postseason.
Yeah, good stepping stone though.
Absolutely. Now, also earlier today, the RMU volleyball team was back home after their 2-game trip, ironically, to Wisconsin last weekend, and they were looking to stop their 4-game losing streak. The team has been fighting hard, but they have come up a little bit short in their past games. The team was back at the UPMC Event Center earlier tonight. Actually, the game wrapped up a little bit ago, looking to stop their skid, but they fell 3-1. Emma Brown led with 12 kills. Ashley Wallen always racking up the assists. She had 25, and Elena Carmody finished with 15 digs. The Colonials' losing streak drops to 5 in a row.
Yeah, that game was pretty weird for the Colonials. 24-19 in the first set, and then they dropped it. And it wasn't shown in that stat, but Rosina Esposito with her 1,000th dig, and Elena Carmody just 4 digs away from 1,500. Wow. So great effort by them. Unfortunately,
Coming
it didn't
up just
go their
short
way.
again.
Yeah. Well, football was in action at Joe Walton Stadium, still in search for their first OVC Big South win, and they took on Tennessee Tech, another 2-5 team. Let's see how this one fared for the Colonials. First quarter, we start here. It's towards the end of the first quarter. Nothing, 1 minute left, and Anthony Chickett throws the interception to Cantus Brooks, who takes it down to the 5-yard line. And Chickett had a short leash on the day, as he would be pulled for Zlakowski after that interception. Second quarter, you'll see 7-0 for Tennessee Tech. And then you have Torrin Baker wide open for the 31-yard touchdown on 4th down, puts the mask on. What a play by Tennessee Tech. Third quarter, we moved in. Chickett returns to the field after Slakowski had an interception and fumble of his own, and a little bit of trickery to Noah Robinson. Look at that catch. Noah Robinson did not play a snap in the first quarter. Don't know exactly why. We'll take another look at this trickery here on my shoulder cam. This is my shot. Pretty proud of it. Chickett throws it down. Robinson with 4 guys around him making that spectacular catch. And this leads to the Colonials in the red zone. Chickett rolls out right and then finds Landon Lucas cutting left wide open to make this a 1-possession game for the Colonials. You thought it was over, but they're back and they are competing. Let's take another look at this, Kevin. Break it down for us.
Yeah, just a nice little roll to the right for Anthony Chickett, gets some help from his running back to block, and he finds the open Landon Lucas. Despite all those turnovers, Colonial's still in it.
Yes, and this is where the turnovers bite them. Chickett, pressure gets to him, falls down on his O-lineman, and the ball gets punched out, and Aaron Swafford picks it up and returns it to the crib, 52 yards with 2 minutes left. That would be the nail in the coffin for the Colonials, but man, it might get a little bit worse coming up. As you see, scoop and score. Great defensive play. Slakowski returns to the game, and this is the first play back. And you'll see, he throws the ball to the other team, and this one goes back, digging the hole even deeper. 39-yard pick six by Tim Cortis. And that would be the end of the day for the Colonials, 38-13. Neither Chickett or Slakowski came back in that game.
Now, when we come back, we're going to be looking for some wins as the RMU men's basketball season is back in action. It's going to be all about hoops when we come back. We're going to hear some hot takes and analysis from 2 special panelists, so you don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned here on CSC.
Today, we face an unprecedented crisis. Tens of millions of refugees have been forced from their homes. But you can make a difference. Turn disruption and despair to hope and opportunity. Even small amounts make a big difference. Provide shelter, support, or jobs in your community. The more we understand, the greater sense of belonging we create. Act now. Visit supportcrisisrelief.org.
Where are they? Shouldn't they be here by now?
What commercial is this?
Someone's gotta be here, guys. Like, for real.
When did Zach
Oh my
make
God,
this?
Nate! Isn't it Thursday? Oh crap.
Oh, I remember this one.
Finally, that's mine. Finally here. Let's go.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. This past weekend, RMU men's basketball unofficially got their season underway in a Coaches for Cancer charity exhibition against Penn State. It drew a big crowd for a good cause, and this was the first time a Big Ten opponent had stepped foot in the UPMC Event Center. We've got some highlights. We're going to take a look back at the weekend's matchup between the Colonials and the Penn State Nittany Lions at the UPMC Event Center. It was an awesome game for charity, drew a big crowd, as I mentioned. And we are going to take a look at it here. Colonials versus Nittany Lions. Colonials debuting their white jerseys. Kicking things off midway through the first half. Offense was coming at a bit of a premium. Justice Williams finds TJ Wainwright in the corner for a wide open three, and he drains it. Wainwright was on fire early, posting 8 of RMU's first 10 points. A little bit later, Marquise Hastings, guarded by Zach Hicks. He's going to find Josh Corbin. Corbin goes one-on-one with Hicks and goes to work. Shaking, Bacon takes the shot, and he makes it. A high arcing three to cut the deficit to 4. Corbin finished with 13. Penn State with the ball up 6. Ace Baldwin guarded by Williams. He puts up a brick. It's rebounded by Chris Ford, who gets it to Justice Williams, and he goes to work. Dribbles by a defender, through contact, bucket, and the foul. Justice Williams, the highly touted high school prospect and transfer from LSU, showing off his athleticism and why he'll likely be the starting point guard all season. He's athletic enough to pull off drives like that. He would make the free throw to cut the deficit to 3. Late now in the first half, Zach Hicks, guarded by Chris Ford, loses control. It's a diving steal by Marquise Hastings. Chris Ford gets it to Jackson Last, and here's some early team chemistry from the Colonials. Hastings helps Last out of the double team. He dribbles into the paint. He's going to find Corbin at the top of the key, fakes out Ace Baldwin, fakes out DeMarco Dunn, extra pass to Wainwright. The 3 is good. It's a 1-point game at the Event Center. Wainwright finished with 15 points. Colonials would trail by just 5 at the break. Early on, a 3-point game. Baldwin finds Kanye Cleary, who drives the lane and is stuffed by Hastings. Williams passes it ahead to Alvaro Fogueras, who rockets it inside to Hastings the other end for a layup, a 1-point game again. Hastings would finish with a double-double. Later on, Penn State up 5. Ace Baldwin, he's running the point for Penn State, finds Nick Kern Jr., who fakes out Hastings and finishes ferociously. A statement made by Penn State, who takes a 7-point lead and forces an RMU timeout. Baldwin, showing his top 20 finish in assists per game in the whole country last season, is no fluke. The size difference was an issue all night, and removing Hastings from the paint really opened it up for the Nittany Lions. Now, under 4 minutes to play, still a close game. DeMarco Dunn against Williams pushes off a little bit, but gets away with it and finishes easily. Penn State would edge away and end up winning by just 10 in this Coaches for Cancer charity exhibition.
Yeah, it was a great night, all for Matthew Sweet, one of the Colonials coaches, and his battle against cancer. Great story, but that was an exhibition game. We got regular season incoming, and it's coming fast Monday night, but Alec Miller was up at the UPMC Event Center to sit down with Coach Toole and discuss the upcoming season. Alec?
All right, Coach, thank you for taking the time out today to talk to me. Just overall, how is the preparation going for the new season? You have some new faces. Just how is it going overall with the camp so far?
I mean, I think it's been positive. You know, obviously we had the summertime where we were able to get all these guys in here, start to build what we wanted to eventually come to fruition on the court. And I think our guys have been coachable. They've been receptive. They've been, you know, trying to figure out areas where we need to improve. And I think, you know, we had a scrimmage against Miami, Ohio, obviously the exhibition game against Penn State, a couple opportunities, inter-squad scrimmages with officials, you know, have given us a decent barometer of where we're at, and now it's a matter of kind of attacking, you know, some of those areas of weakness, and also understanding how to continue to play towards strength.
Now, going back to last year, you guys hosted a playoff game and overall had a pretty successful season, best finish in the Horizon since joining. Just what are some of your takeaways from about how last year went, what you can learn from that last year and bring towards this year?
I think last year we were able to, you know, find our footing a little bit in the Horizon League. Our first couple years were not very positive. And so last year we were able, I think, to find our footing, like I said, and give ourselves a chance to be competitive against everybody that was on our schedule. You know, obviously won a home playoff game, had a really good chance to get to the semifinals, and weren't able to finish a game at Cleveland State. And that's certainly a frustration for me and for our staff, and you know, for some of the guys that were on the court there last year. But I think we're not where we want to be. You know, we want to be, you know, towards the top quarter, the top of the league, competing for championships, competing for NCAA tournament berths. That's what this program has known the entire time that I've been here, and you know, we've got to get that accelerated. You know, we've got to really make that push. It won't be easy. You know, there's a lot of very good teams in the league. There's a lot of very good coaches, a lot of very good players, and so we've got to make sure that we are taking advantage of every opportunity we have to grow, to improve, to build the identity that we want to have on the floor, to be able to execute the way you need to execute. And that's some of the stuff that we've learned as we've gone through the league is, you know, maybe some of the things that we need to maybe focus on more earlier in the year so that when we get into conference play, we're a little more capable.
Thank you, Alec and Coach Toole, for that in-depth look at the upcoming basketball season. Cam, it's right around the corner. It starts Monday night, but that doesn't mean that the hot takes can't start now. So we're going to send it over to our expert panel, Josh Woodman and Garrett Sherwin, joined by Bethany Naughton. Guys, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. How are you both today?
Good, how about
Delightful.
I'm good. Okay, so Garrett, who will be RMU's X Factor player?
So guys, for me, it's got to be Josh Corbin. Corbin was 28th in the in all of the NCAA in attempted three-pointers and 40th in made three-pointers. He's going to look to up that clip, and I think if he does, that will help the Colonials immensely.
I'm actually going to go Marquise Hastings here. Based on his performance against Penn State, I think he played excellent. 11 points, 13 rebounds, which led the team. He also had two assists and 1 turnover. So not really looking at any faults really from him. I just think, he was 3rd in points that night and also 13 rebounds. That was a problem for them against the Nittany Lions, and if he keeps doing that, I'll be very excited.
And what do the Colonials have that gives them the advantage over most?
I would probably say the coaching environment. I think the players really want to fight for Andy Toole, and I think just the experience that they have coming into this. Also, the talent. The talent's there. Justice Williams from LSU, Hastings from Western Michigan. Those are good talent pickups for the Colonials.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Williams, he was a former 4-star recruit, so that's quite the talent to have here at RMU. But I'm going to go with the athleticism. The Colonials don't have a player that's over 6'9", so they're going to sacrifice some on the boards this year. But not having anyone that's really that tall and that much of a bruiser, they're going to be more athletic than most teams.
And will RMU make March Madness this season?
So I'm going to say so I'm going to get directly into it. I think Youngstown State's going to win the Horizon League. But I think the Colonials have improved in talent, talking about Hastings, talking about Williams. That's a more talented team than I believe we had the Colonials had last year.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I don't think the Colonials are going to have it easy this year. I think they have a good chance at making a run. I don't think they will. But honestly, I don't see any key factors as to why they wouldn't. I mean, I think they have the talent. I think they have just a little bit on defense. If they make some good buckets, I think we could be talking about a potential run here.
Well, thank you both for joining me. And when we come back, we'll be talking about the hockey teams and the cross-country teams. Stay here on Colonial Sports Center.
to Colonial Sports Center. That's CHC. Women's basketball.
Found my heart out there in the open. Trees make you feel smaller. Can't help but get lost again. If I need a break, know where I'm going. Where the water's flowing, I'd rather be floating. If it's something I can count on to be free.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. Cam, it's a little bit hot in here with those hot takes that we just heard. I think we got to cool it down, not just with the weather outside, but we're going to take things to the ice as men's hockey was in action twice this past weekend against the Bentley Falcons. After a 4-3 win on Friday, the Colonials were looking for the 2-game sweep at Clearview Arena against Bentley. The Colonials would unfortunately fall 3-0 in this matchup, could not complete the sweep. Nick Boken and Ryan Mansfield both scored in the win for the Falcons. Chad Veltri always posting big save amounts, 36 here, but it was not enough. The men's team currently sits at 2-3-2 overall with an exhibition against Simon Fraser next on the schedule.
Yeah, that game-winning goal was a crazy bounce, thrown on net, off of Townend's head, into Veltry's pad. He loses it and into the back of the net. Unfortunate way for the Colonials to drop that game. But women's hockey was in action up I-79 in Erie, Pennsylvania. Game 1 didn't go their way as they fell 9-2 to the Lakers. But let's see how they did in Game 2. And they would bounce back. Colonials would take this one 3-2. Elena Giampietro, a goal and 2 assists. Madison Primo, 2 goals. The game-winning goal scored with just a minute remaining. All 3 goals for the Colonials was on the power play. Maggie Hatch, 41 saves, 2 goals allowed. Giampietro takes home CHA Rookie of the Month, and Maggie Hatch takes it home Goalie of the Month for CHA play. Some outstanding performances by 2 Colonials and a great team effort to bounce back from that 9-2 loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And although the men's team couldn't get it done in Game 2, they did get it done in Game 1. So they'll take a split for sure when they return back home to take on Bentley. Now, Cam, we're going to move from the ice outside to the grass as both cross-country teams were in action in the Horizon League Cross-Country Championships on Saturday. Both were coming off solid performances at the RMU Mid-Major Invitational and looking to continue their momentum as they took the trip to Fairborn, Ohio. Let's take a look at how both teams fared in championship competition. Cam, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start us off with the women's 6K. You'll see Julia Dill coming in first for the Colonials with 22 minutes, 40 seconds, and Franny Cabana with 22 minutes, 47 seconds. The rest of the Colonials coming in 45th, 72, 53, 61, 62, 68, 69, with around the 23 to 25 minute range. The Colonials finished 10th out of 11 teams. How about the men's side for the cross country?
Men's side in the 8K, they posted a 6th place finish, their highest since joining the Horizon League. They finished just 12 points behind Green Bay. Skylar Vavro led the 8K times with 25 minutes, 16 seconds. Braden Boyd and Sam Gutzwiller both set personal bests. Some nice times and finishes there by the men's team. Up next for both squads is the NCAA Mid-Atlantic Regional, in Bethlehem, PA, held on November 10th.
That's around where I'm from. I have friends in Bethlehem. I might have to
tell
them to go check out some
the cross country.
We love watching people running, But you know what else we love? We love top 5 plays, and we got that coming up just after this break. So stay here on CSC.
The death of George Floyd, who died in police custody Monday night.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation. It's going to take more than just us, as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to help us make a change, because it just can't be us.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. We're going to roll the dice here and see if we got our top 5 plays, and I'm pretty sure we do this time. Let's hop right into it and check out this week's top 5 plays. We got number 5. We go to I-79 up to Erie. The game-winning goal with just a minute left. Elena Giampietro, the CHA Rookie of the Month. And that is why she is game-winning goal for the Colonials. A beautiful POP, puck-off pad, some hockey terminology for you, and dubs are what we take.
Number 4 at Joe Walton Stadium. No dubs here, but some nice plays. Colonials putting together another drive early in the second half. and Anthony Chickett rolls right, gets enough help from his blockers for just long enough to find Lucas Landon on the left side of the field for the 12-yard touchdown. Cam, we saw this earlier. Just looking at it again, it was a simple roll to his right, and Chickett got enough help when it mattered.
Yeah, a lot of misdirection, loosey-goosey. Where do I go? It goes to the back of the end zone for 6.
Nice play there by the Colonials. Despite all those turnovers, it was still a one-possession game after that touchdown.
Number 3, we're back on the ice at Clearview Ice Arena, and we have Dallas Tulloch scoring for the Colonials with just 40 seconds remaining. You see him find the soft spot and put it over the left shoulder of the goalie. Take another look at this. A shot just right where Mama hides the cookies.
Number 2, we're going to the hardwood. Penn State charity exhibition. With the ball up 6, Ace Baldwin's going to put up a brick. It's rebounded by Chris Ford. He gets it to Justice Williams, and he goes to work across the logo. Bucket and the foul through contact, through Baldwin's contact. Did not matter. Justice Williams scores and cuts the deficit to 3 with this really nice play here, Cam.
Yeah, amazing and one. Got the arena rocking. Just happy to see Colonial basketball back.
Absolutely.
Well,
and Cam, you got number 1.
Yes, I do. Number 1, we go to the Joe Walton Stadium. It's Halloween, so it's trick or treat time, and this is a treat. With this trickery, you'll see Chickett down to Noah Robinson, making a spectacular catch, and the celebration pointing downfield. First down.
I cannot believe that they found Robinson. This was a very slow materializing trick, but he found Robinson despite 4 defenders being there. That's your number 1 play of the week with a little help from the 2 of us in the corner.
You saw that play a couple times this season. A lot of trickery for the Colonials, and they actually have worked out quite often for them. So they might need to keep rolling that play. Just every down trickery.
Yeah, every single play, run a flea flicker to Noah Robinson. I think that might be successful. But Cam, that was a look at what happened over the past week. Let's take a look at what's coming up next. Cam, give us your game to watch.
My game to watch is tomorrow night. We have women's volleyball taking on Purdue Fort Wayne. It is senior night, and my player to watch is senior Emma Brown. And man, they had not the best season, but it was a really fun season to watch his team grow. Stepping stones, as I said earlier in the show, 159 kills, which led, she led the Colonials tonight in kills, and a great performance by her. There's a couple of other seniors, Elena Carmody, Rosina Esposito, and Abby Ryan. Unfortunately, Abby is injured and won't be able to take part in senior night, but that is my game to watch.
Definitely a nice season for this volleyball team. They were trying to get some nice wins. They came up a little short. I think the record was a little bit deceiving. They performed much better than their record states. My game to watch is the season opener for RMU men's basketball at Xavier Monday night at 8 o'clock p.m. My player to watch and key player, I think, for this entire season is point guard Justice Williams. If he can run the point and be a facilitator, there's no telling what kind of jump the offense could take for this season. For Xavier, they're coming off a Sweet 16 appearance, but they lose a few of their top scorers. 6'9" forward Zach Fremantle returns as a grad student. Going to be tough to take him down. He averaged over 15 points per game last season. Hot take from me here. I think there's a chance RMU wins this game. I'll come right out and say it. I think this team's hungry. I think they played against Penn State really well. They kept it close for a majority of the game. Xavier, I think, might be doing a little bit of overlooking, and they lose a couple of their top scorers. Solely Boom from last season. I think RMU could pull off the shocking upset in the opening night of college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, they looked really good against Penn State. They were there. A couple of plays didn't go their way, but I'm really excited for that one. And you got to keep an eye out. We might be sending a team out to Xavier that Monday night to get you all the coverage on Colonial Sports Network. So
Absolutely.
Keep an eye out for that.
Cam, I wanted to touch briefly on your game to watch again. As I mentioned, I think the record was pretty deceiving. Set 1 against IUPUI tonight, they lost 29-27. There were a handful of sets this year that the Colonials lost either 26-24 or 25-23 in that range. I think this team has played really well this season despite their record. They have a lot of young talent that's going to grow very nicely, and I think they're going to have a nice season next year.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's Danny Doherty's second season as head coach, and he's building that program up to be what it should be. And they have some spectacular freshmen on their team, including Natalie Stepanovich, who was a stellar performer this season.
Absolutely. Well, that's just all the time we have here on Colonial Sports Center. For Cameron Macariola, I've been Kevin Plaucha. For everyone upstairs and downstairs, also Josh Woodman, Garrett Sherwin, and Bethany Notwin, we will see